Coach, your group was able to get within striking distance a couple times in that fourth quarter, but ultimately couldn't get over the hump. What did you feel was the difference down the stretch?
George Niang came in and hit some big shots. I think we did a good job of ramping up the pace, speeding him up, turning him over a few times. Then he got himself free on a couple of those shots and understanding who he is as a shooter and making sure we got to his body a little bit faster. But those are adjustments that we'll look at film, we'll make those, and go back at it again Sunday.
Obviously it's nice to get players back, but when you add a few guys to the lineup, you lost a few. Just how tough does it make it to get into a flow, both offensively and defensively as a group?
Well, that's not easy. It's definitely not easy at all. Understanding when guys go out, guys getting banged up, getting beat up, and these are minutes guys haven't played before. These opportunities are there, and we're going to continue to look at guys getting these opportunities. But hopefully, when we get a full roster back, we'll be able to evaluate and assess the right way.
Jamahl, the 76ers finished with, I think it was 13 offensive rebounds. What were you seeing out there that allowed them to get those second chances?
Long shots, long rebounds. I think that was a big portion of it. A couple of times they threw some shots up quickly. They hit a couple end of shot clock buzzer shots as well as those were coming off as long rebounds. So just our ability to make sure we hit, check to see if guys are going, hit, and then go grab the rebound.
And on a few of their made shots, it seemed like guys are getting open, not just off the offensive rebounds, but even, I guess during the first possession. Was that going back to the communication we talked about pregame?
No, I think a lot. I mean, I'll have to go back and look at the film in those situations. Some of that was communication, our ability in our switching package, being up at the level and making sure that, we make sure we protect the rim first and then make sure we get to these guys and contest all shots.
How's Jalen? It seemed like you didn't see him out there after midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I think, just watching him move a little bit, I just wanted to kind of reevaluate where he was.
Paolo obviously made his return. How much more of a flow did you see him get into as the game went on and he got back in rhythm?
Well, we knew it was going to take time, and obviously just catching that first wind was the big portion of it, but I know his body felt good. It's just after being off all this time, just being able to walk back in and, kind of get a rhythm as the game went on.
Coach, I understand you addressed the defensive lapses that occur with George Niang and Philly's shooters. What about on the offensive end? Do you think adjustments are going to be made coming into Sunday? Do you think that you're going to be focusing more on getting two-point shots, attacking the paint, instead of settling for, I see, around 34 three-point attempts tonight?
Well, we had 48 points in the paint, so I mean that's a positive. We talked about being able to attack the paint, attack the rim. So we'll continue to look at both what those three-point shots look like when we got them, and then our ability to finish at the rim.
Hey, Coach, Joel Embiid not play tonight, but he may come back on Sunday. So what adjustment you gonna make if he will play on Sunday?
I'll have to find out, wait and see if he plays.
Jamahl, it's FRANZ. It was 9 against Chicago, 6 against Indiana, 10 against Indiana, then another, I think, 10 tonight with his free throws. Just what's he done differently, or you guys lobbied a little bit more pre-game to get him more of those calls?
I think that's it. Understanding this kid's going to the basket at a high rate. He's dropping his shoulder, getting to the rim, and it's not like he's taking tough ones around the rim. He's trying to get all the way to the basket. So I think the physicality in which he plays with, understanding that he can start to get those calls.
Have you guys had to say anything to him to maybe make sure he emphasizes that contact, or is it just him doing the same thing and refs respecting what he does more?
I think he grows with every game. He's understanding the flow of the game, understands sometimes how the whistle's going, but the one thing he is doing, he's consistent attacking the basket, and that's what we're going to ask him to keep doing.
Thank you, Coach Mosley.
Thank you, guys.
We're back with
FRANZ, you guys were able to get within striking distance a couple times in the fourth quarter, but ultimately, couldn't get over the hump. What did you feel was the difference down the stretch there?
Some key offensive rebounds, I think. They had some timely shots. But I think overall, just our energy, kind of toughness coming into the game, I think that just happened to show in those key moments that I mentioned. But I think that was the key to the game, that we always kind of reacted to whatever they were doing.
I know you're the last guy to make excuses, but when you have adding guys into the lineup, other guys subtracting again, just how tough does it make it to get into a flow as a team, both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, it makes it tough, but I mean, it's a bad example because the other team is literally doing the same thing. So I think that they did a better job of handling that today, and kind of playing more consistent throughout the game. We had more up and down, so we got another shot on Sunday.
Franz, Jamahl mentioned that the communication on the switching, when you guys are switching, can improve. How, I guess, would you say that you guys progress in that sense from the start of the season to now?
It's still a learning process, I think. I think it's tough for some of our bigs that, basically their whole life we're told to not switch and stay with their guy, and we keep switching it up. It's tough for the guards sometimes because they're told to always chase over, and now we're doing something different. But I think for big stretches we're doing a solid job. But like I said, I think we can still get a lot better at that.
And for you, this stretch of 4 games are the most free throws you've taken this season. I guess, what are you seeing out there? Is it the refs respecting your drives a little bit more? Are you doing something differently to, I guess, get those calls in certain situations?
And I'm doing the same thing. Yeah.
Franz, you really seem to have your way in the paint around the 2-point range. You only missed 1 2-point field goal. Also, sort of piggybacking off what Kobe said, you really do get your money's worth over at the free throw line. Is there going to be more of an emphasis heading into Sunday's matchup, sort of reading the defense, seeing what they're giving you, realizing that you can kind of pick apart this team once you get in the paint? You're going to put more emphasis into attempting the 2-pointers?
I think I did a solid job with that. I think that's kind of our game plan as a whole. I think we have a really tall team and guys that create a lot of advantages when they're at the rim. So, most games that when we win, that's when we dominate in the paint, getting offensive rebounds, stuff like that. So hopefully we can do that on Sunday.
Thanks, Franz.
Thank you.
Paolo, you guys were able to get within striking distance a couple times in that fourth quarter, but ultimately couldn't get over the hump. What did you see as the difference down the stretch?
I just think we had some bad turnovers, myself included, that just gave them the ball, really. That part of the game, when it's the last 4 or 5 minutes, you want to get a good shot every time down. So, having those live ball turnovers didn't help at all. And they also, just made shots, made big plays. They got a lot of veteran players who are comfortable in those moments, and you could tell.
After missing the last 7 games, how did your body feel physically? How did it hold up? And how did you feel yourself get into a rhythm over the course of the game?
Yeah, I felt all right. My body definitely has some catching up to do, just soreness, not playing for 2 weeks. But it was fun getting back out there. It was fun playing. I think I could have played a lot better, but I think I got to the foul line and whatnot. But definitely trying to improve and play better in the future.
Anything else? Kobe?
Paolo, Jamahl mentioned that the communication on switching is something that can improve. I guess, as a player, what are they telling you as coaches in terms of, how to improve it? It's as simply as just talking more and calling things out more?
Yeah, that's really it. It's just upping the level of communication and just calling those switches out, trying to call them before they happen, so they it doesn't result in a miscommunication or a free lane for the offense.
Paolo, Coach and Franz pointed out that 3-point shooting on both ends, they were making a lot. Orlando was kind of missing a few. That was probably one of the biggest downfalls of tonight. What do you think, from your perspective, just coming back, what do you think was probably the biggest issue that sort of caused this?
Yeah, they definitely made shots from the 3 a lot more than we did. And like I said, the turnovers late, not boxing out, we gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. But yeah, 3-point line definitely played a big part in the game. Niang, Milton, those guys hit some big shots, so we weren't able to knock down, a lot of threes. So I think that was a difference.
Erwin Bustamante from Sport Bar TV. What do you think you need to improve or get better for Sunday's game, and so we can see a win again? Welcome back.
Thank you. I definitely think, we got to box out, keep them off the boards. They shoot threes, which results in long rebounds, and so they got a lot of second chances by us not boxing out. So definitely clean that up on the offensive boards, and then find shooters. We knew Niang was a sniper coming in, and we let him get, I don't know how many threes he had, but a lot. So made some big shots. So we can't let that happen. Next game, got to be aware of where he's at. And then I think just try and turn up the intensity one more notch. I wouldn't say we were low energy today, but we definitely can kick it up a notch. So that's what we're gonna try and do Sunday.